Gubernatorial candidate Beto O'Rourke, thank you so much for joining us for this interview. Obviously, we know the core issues where you and Governor Abbott stand. We want to take a few moments to really focus on some local topics that are unique to our area. And we want to start with the continued delays of the new Harbor Bridge. Work on part of the bridge was stopped in July by TxDOT over design flaws. If you become governor, what would you do to ensure the bridge can be finished in a timely and safe manner that people can trust?
You know, Greg Abbott has really dropped the ball on the Harbor Bridge. It should have been completed 2 years ago, should have been completed on budget and on time, and it's not, and we still have questions here in Nueces County. As governor, I'm gonna make sure that we use the resources that we have. There's literally $8 billion in the TxDOT budget right now that is going unspent. Let's bring some of these resources here, but let's also hold people accountable for the failure that we've seen, because these are our tax dollars that are being used, and I would argue in some respects wasted, without having the economic development impact that we want to have here at the Port of Corpus Christi. So I'm going to make sure that these communities that have been taken for granted by the governor become a priority and focus of mine and the state of Texas going forward.
You have managed to close the gap in the latest poll with Governor Abbott. You are within 5 percentage points. I want to ask you about the Hispanic vote. Corpus Christi and South Texas make up a large Hispanic population. How important is that demographic to get out to the polls for you to win this race? What have you done to make sure voters of color are able to get to the polls, specifically those who might not have voted in previous elections?
We just did a big event in Brownsville yesterday, this morning in Corpus Christi, today in Robstown. We're showing up everywhere for everyone, writing nobody off, and this is important. We're also not taking anyone for granted. It doesn't matter to me who you voted for before. It doesn't matter to me the color of your skin or your country of national origin. I've got to earn that vote. And so I'm talking about the things that are most important to the voters here, including Hispanic voters, making sure that we lower property taxes to make this state more affordable, focusing on expanding Medicaid so that we get more access to doctors, to health care, to mental health care providers, and then supporting our school teachers by funding their schools so that our kids get the best possible education. If we do that and restore a woman's ability to make her own decisions about her own body, work with and fully fund law enforcement so that we reduce the rise in violent crime that we've seen under Greg Abbott, our communities are going to be better, stronger, more successful, and safer, and that's what voters want. That's why I think we're going to win this election.
I want to turn to school safety. Here locally, we have had 6 instances of children bringing guns to school on campus. There have also been a number of gun hoaxes in local schools. How do we make children safe in school and focused on their education?
Just today, met 2 students from Ray High School who told me on Friday there was an active shooter threat at their school. Doors had to be locked. They were supposed to hide within their classroom. They told me that they didn't know what hiding within their classroom meant. What good was that going to do against someone who might have something like an AR-15, which that 18-year-old shooter used in Uvalde to kill 19 children and 2 teachers. It's been more than 16 weeks, and Greg Abbott has not done a thing to improve the safety of our kids and our teachers in schools. This is what I'll do as governor. 1, we're going to raise the age for purchase of an AR-15 from 18 to 21. We're going to have a red flag law so that law enforcement can intervene when someone is threatening to shoot up a school, as the Uvalde shooter did before he walked in to Robb Elementary. And then we're going to have a universal background check, which just means that if you want to buy a firearm in Texas, we want to make sure that you're not going to use it against yourself or someone else. Those 3 steps are bipartisan. Almost every Texan can get behind them, and they allow us to defend the Second Amendment while still protecting the lives of our fellow Texans, especially our kids.
Lastly, I want to ask you, of course, about border policy, immigration. No doubt it's a hot button issue right now. Governor Abbott has said that he will continue to bus migrants who are seeking asylum to places like Washington, D.C., calling on the Biden administration to, quote, do its job and secure the border. What can states like Texas do to handle this complex situation?
You know, after 8 years of Greg Abbott in office, we have chaos on the border. We have fentanyl coming into our communities. We have human smugglers who are able to operate with impunity. And it's because we have a governor who's focused on stunts like busing migrants or these other theatrics on the border instead of solutions. As governor, I'm going to focus on solving these problems, and I'm going to bring Republicans and Democrats to the table to do that. That means that we should have, for example, a Texas-based guest worker program. We want folks who want to work within our economy to come here, but they need to follow the law when they do that. And there needs to be a safe, legal, orderly path to come into Texas and to go back to your country of origin. People who want to join family, who are seeking asylum, have to follow the law. I just want to make sure that our laws follow our values and our interests. As governor, I know that we can do this. Solutions instead of stunts. I don't want us to be talking about this next month, next year, or for the next 10 years. I want us to solve this now. It'll be my priority as governor.
50 days until Election Day. Beto O'Rourke, thank you so much.
Thank you.